You may now begin your presentation.
So let's start again. So, as I said, let's face reality. In 2022, 211 women asked for help at women's night shelters in Trento. In 2023, there were 273. And in the first 3 months of 2024, already 96. But what is more scary is that this number could be even more bigger. And that is due to male dominance of assistance services. These women go for what is called hidden homelessness. This means they go off the radars, they're excluded and invisible from analytics and all statistics. Being homeless means facing day in, day out significant challenges, social. For example, isolation or discrimination, institutional, unlawful practices, long bureaucracies, and environmental. We all know how harsh winter can be in Trento. But of course, economic, unemployment, and exploitation. This means that these women are scared. They are vulnerable, they are anxious, but most of all, they're exposed. Exposed to sexual assault, to rape, to sexual exploitation. But that is where it's come Home Linker. We're devoted of using cutting-edge AI and technology to make a significant impact on these lives. We want to streamline access to local life-changing services, to build a collaborative community, to bridge the gap with the service providers, and empower these women with the possibility of making a step forward in self-sufficiency. So we want to meet with empathy and with kindness, with love these women, and leave no one of them behind. So what is going to be? Well, through the mentorship with KPMG, we thought about developing an AI chatbot specifically trained in Italian law. So these women are going to learn their rights and what to do in their specific situation. So imagine being homeless and you cannot afford a lawyer. Well, that's going to be your first legal assistance. The possibility of making contacts and having the numbers of all the emergency numbers that they need. A map, working both offline and online, indicating shelters, canteens, pharmacies, hospitals, police stations. And another amazing feature, well, the possibility of using the chatbot to translate legal document. So, for example, asylum-seeking procedure is just in Italian, but with this, they're gonna have a translation, but most of all, the possibility of asking the chatbot what to do. So it's not just gonna be just a paper, but they are going to understand what to do and how to fill in these documents. Last but not least, service provider will access our data and analytics, so to tackle hidden homelessness, of course. So what we want to do is to use globalization 4.0 to make an instrument of just production and consumption of something of sharing and caring. We want to transform the invisible in something finally visible and transforming something threatening and something finally manageable.
So homelessness among women is a hidden phenomenon, and that makes it even more dangerous. And did you know, by the way, that 90% of homeless people in Italy, they own a smartphone currently? So Home Linker aims to embrace all stereotypes, offering a digital solution that's going to be the toolbox to turn vulnerability into action. It even has downloadable shelter maps to be downloadable offline. And promotion, it's going to be a combination of digital campaigns, flyers, and QR codes in order to reach even the most hidden homelessness. And unlike existing apps, in just one place, we offer an AI chatbot, legal assistance, and it's a gender-specific design solution and a solution for the most hidden kind of homelessness. And speaking about impact, we really want to start small, but with big aims. So we're beginning in Trento, a small community, but our model is so scalable, so we aim to empower 400,000 women in European Union that are homeless and deserve a service like this. And all service providers are going to pay a yearly subscription, so the model is going to be financially sustainable by 2027, letting Home Linker to be free for all women who need it and deserve it. And now let's talk about stakeholders and impact. So we want to increase housing occupation by 10%. At the same time, though, reducing homelessness among women by 40%, because with a service like this, we can go all in for optimization and resource efficiency. And now let's talk about stakeholders. Just in the community of Trento, look at how many stakeholders are already supporting our idea. And because our model is so scalable, imagine how many they can be across European Union. And it's already a reality. So this is actually Home Linker. you're gonna get guided through a small tutorial to get the most out of the app from the very first second you use it. And once you join the community, the login is gonna be smart, simple, and secure. And this is the home page, and in one single tap, you access what's the foundation of our service, which is the AI-driven chatbot. This is the widget to make it more instant. And this is a conversation with the chatbot to solve any issues with artificial intelligence in the blink of an eye.
Well, once David Sassoli said that Europe should innovate, protect, and be a beacon. Well, I do believe that in our lives, we can be protector, innovator, and light for anybody else. Because we are at our best when we heal the brokenness in others. We are the future now. I'm Viviana.
I am Gabriele.
We are Enactus Trento, and this is Home Linker.
Okay, we will now begin the question and answer question. Only judges may ask questions. Judges, please raise your hand if you want to ask some questions, and kindly wait for your turn as we hand you the microphone.
Good morning. How do you plan to make known the app to the intended users?
So this is a really good question because it's not easy, to just reach people who are homeless. And especially we found out that homeless among women has one more problem, which is hidden. So nobody knows about it. And that's the reason why in our market analysis, in the very beginning, we thought that a digital campaign could have been the effective way to address this thing. But then we realized that we had to kind of change our views. And that's why in the very beginning of my part, we said that it's gonna be a flexible combination between a digital campaign, because as we said before, 9 homeless out of 10, they own a smartphone with internet connection. And this is the very starting point of the idea of Home Linker. But at the same time, we're gonna develop flyers and QR codes in order that they're gonna be distributed in all of the area of Trento, and it's gonna be one more channel to get even the most hidden homelessness.
And as we said, Trento, it's rather a small reality. So what we want to do is also meet face-to-face these women. They are all around the city. We just have to open our eyes. And there are plenty of services of housing shelters just for women. So I think that the best idea is just starting and meeting these women and get known and meet them. And that, of course, is going to be step by step. We're going to develop a campaign both offline and online. And this is the way we thought about reaching these women.
Any other question?
Hi, can you be a little bit more specific on how you plan to increase the funds that you can collect? Because of course government will pay some of the funds, or municipalities, but also you mentioned about fees that are paid by other kind of supporters.
So the problem about women, as we said, is that they are hidden. So service providers do not know about them. And that, of course, makes a loop and a problem in providing resources. So what we thought is about using the service providers that want to use our data and analytics, and then can be a private company or a private NGO, as for example, Punto d'Approdo, which is one of our stakeholders, but also reach the government to pay us fees just to have access to the data. And this is a way of both tackling the problem, but at the same time sustaining the chatbot, because we have to innovate it, we have to keep up with Italian law, we have to keep up with the services that we want to provide with these women. So the fees are going to be paid by all those services that want to access our data, so the number of users, their age, the question, the needs that they have, so they can also reach efficiency in the resources and also in the distribution of resources. But of course, we want to use public grants, donation, because we want to tackle a social problem.
Okay. Any other question? Okay. That's it. So thank you for your question and for the answers. Judges, please remember that the comments on the individual team evaluation forms are the only form and feedback teams receive. You are strongly encouraged to take the time to give specific feedback and explain how to improve and build for the future. Thank you, Enactus Trento.
Thank you.